Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, it's all about words. Words, people. Words can do a lot of good, a lot of damage as well. Maybe after you've had a couple, you may say something that you regret. For others, words just get in the way, right? You don't know when to jam it up. Lane Kiffin, he's a king when it comes to words. Can you imagine his career once he gives it up and wants to get into the world of broadcasting? I mean, he will be absolutely the number one selection. If you can take a flat-out Grinch like Nick Saban and keep him as a star, or take someone who is an absolute mime like Urban Meyer and make him somewhat of a star, imagine Lane Kiffin behind the mic. That is going to be absolutely electrifying. That is years down the road, obviously, but he's got everyone beat here. Remember when it was Jimbo Fisher? I don't want to talk about that job. If I talk about that job, I got to talk about this job. Jimbo couldn't handle anything, right? Even Mike Norvell went underground for 24, 36 hours as Jimmy Sexton continues his pursuit to just ruin the game of college football, right? He walks in overfed, he walks in aggravated, and he just puts demands on university after university after university. And you know what? They cave in. And that's going to be the deal here for Lane Kiffin, who earlier today went on ESPN and said it's absolutely not true that there is a deadline to announce whether or not he will remain at Mississippi or go elsewhere. It was right there on the 28th with the Egg Bowl, as Mississippi, after a bye this week, they are absolutely going to slaughter Mississippi State. But you notice, he said, I love it here. He goes on and on and on. It's the greatest. It's the best. It's absolutely not true with the deadline. What has he not said? I'm staying. What has he not said? I'm not interested in another job. It's brilliant. It's all about words, and he's got a way of doing it where he doesn't get pushed by members of the media. I almost have to think that Pat McAfee today got Lane Kiffin on with the understanding of, don't ask me about the other jobs. Okay, I'll come on and say hello. I'll bring my star tailback on as well. And, you know, if not, then McAfee's just way, way too overrated. How can you bring a guy like him on? He addressed the deadline, but he didn't address Florida. He didn't address LSU. He didn't get through any of that, which is what people want at this particular time. Whatever it is, it's just a classic example of where we are today when it comes to words and when it comes to putting things in print, in this case, on your phone. It was 2 weeks ago where all the NFL insiders told us, oh, Travis Hunter, not for the year. Travis Hunter will be back, okay? And then, bam, a week ago today, we got the news. Right after the devastation of losing at Houston, blowing a 19-point lead, Travis Hunter gone for the year. There's no accountability. No one ever does retract. Every time that Diana Russini mentions a report that involves the Jaguars, the exact opposite happens. Hell, she got promoted for it. She said Doug Marrone was out years ago. He wasn't out. Remember, Jim Woodcock had to provide a press release. Of course, Jim, a publicist, a wonderful guy for Shad Khan. He had to come out with it. And what did she do? She laughed. She got promoted, and now she's moved on, making even more money. She came out a couple of weeks ago and gave us all of this on Brian Thomas Jr. So I'm not looking to clip members of the media. It's just amazing to me that you could basically take unlimited amounts of chances nowadays. And if you're wrong, it's like no big deal. It's like picking a game wrong. Honestly, it's almost at that particular level. Well, same thing happened here with, yesterday's report that came out really at the end of Hayes and Frank, and right as I came on at 6 o'clock, that was the premier story around our country. What is going on? And I said it a night ago. I didn't back off. There was no quote. No one was attributed to the report, but it just blew me away that Mississippi would put a deadline on Lane Kiffin. Maybe privately, okay, and Lane's camp's not going to release it. Lane doesn't need anything released. It's not going to make him more money. That report didn't make him an extra zero at the end of his contract at either LSU or Florida. It just didn't. He's going to get whatever he wants. He'll walk in there, or I should say Jimmy Saxton, after he finishes his burgers and fries and more burgers and fries. He's going to go in there with an empty check and just say, this is what Lane Kiffin wants. And schools are going to pay him for it. So anyway, we'll track it. But a bye week. And, things are ridiculous online. You see these planes taking off here and there. Lane Kiffin's on this plane. Lane Kiffin has landed in Baton Rouge. Lane Kiffin is going to Gainesville. His ex-wife was spotted in Gainesville. His ex-wife, okay? I mean, I've never seen anything like this before, ever, that they're, following the ex-wife. Now, I know they get along. She lives in Oxford, okay? And that's very cool to be a divorced family and you still get along for the benefit of your kids who are grown now. I want to say that Kiffin's kids are teenagers. One is, I believe, going to Mississippi. She dates an LSU football player. The other is a high school quarterback. So they are a little bit older, but that's still cool. I'll give him credit for that. But she should have absolutely zero influence on what Lane Kiffin is going to do. It's his ex-wife. But anyway, that is that. The College Football Playoff Committee last night, the Power Four commissioners met. What came out of it? How does this sound? How about a 24-team college football playoff? Okay? Apparently it has some merit. The conversations are underway. It seems right now like the upper hand, which is clearly the SEC and the Big Ten, right? I mean, come on. The ACC, what a dumpster fire. The Big 12, okay, some nice runs this year. Give them credit, Texas Tech, BYU. But it's still the Big 12, right? You don't have the blue bloods. You don't have the power to enforce the way that the SEC and the Big Ten are. I love it. I absolutely adore the idea of a 24-team college football playoffs. The bowls are useless, okay? The bowls are like an 8-track tape. The bowls are like leaded gasoline. They no longer matter. Only disgruntled, degenerate gamblers care about bowls. And maybe if you're somewhere else in the country where it's incredibly cool at this particular time, all right, you want to come down here to our great state, you get an opportunity to go to Jacksonville or Orlando or Tampa or down south. I get that. But for the most part, again, if I was to offer to buy you lunch for the rest of the year, Dylan, can you name 5 bowl games, non-college football playoffs, 5 bowl games that were played last year and the teams that were in them?
Not a shot.
I can't name one.
I can't even remember who played in the Gator Bowl last year.
Neither can I. And it's right here. It's so meaningless, and it's sad. But that's what's happened to this sport. So you might as well evolve with it and give the people what they want. If you put a bowl game together and you're a pro talent, you're going to opt out of that bowl game. You know what? People aren't going to opt out of a 24-team college football playoff. And again, teams 24 through 10 probably have no shot. But just remember what happened a year ago. Wasn't it number 7 against number 8? Wasn't it Ohio State against Notre Dame? I believe a 7 seed against an 8 seed. The top 4 seeds, the buys, they all went away. So it's just something to consider. I like, at least like the fact that the conversation is taking place. College football right now is up against it. They need major reform. They need a commissioner. They need a leader. And they, at this particular time, they have to find a way to fix this at least somewhat. And it begins with the NIL, and it begins with the transfer portal. I think there are so many things that must change. Do you want to cap teams? I don't know. Do you want to limit the transfer portal to only once? If you do it a second time, you must sit out a year. Should you not be allowed to transfer within the same conference? There's just a lot of things that need to be fixed here in the sport of college football. And hopefully that will be the case. I don't know if it is going to be a part of the immediate future, but nonetheless, it is something that must happen. Okay, we got a lot to do tonight. Plenty of Jaguars talk coming up. Where do the Jags go from here? Picked them to win in Houston, shocked by the outcome. Picked them to lose here against L.A., shocked by the outcome. All right, this team has gone back and forth, and they finally played a complete game, right? They scored in every quarter, scored a touchdown in every quarter. Dominant on defense, both against the run and getting to the quarterback. You've seen this team rely on new players, guys off the scrap heap, guys that they traded for, guys who were buried on the depth chart, maybe even the practice squad, who have come up huge as of late. That's great. That's scouting. That's developing. That's coaching. That's front office work. It's been spectacular. It really has. But where do they go from here? It's so hard to project, to just pound the table and say, they're going west, they're going to the desert. Victory, they haven't won there since 2005. Okay? We know how they are against inferior quarterbacks. And Brissett last week, he wasn't the issue. They couldn't run. He threw it 57 times, completed 47 of them. This is a grizzled veteran, Jacoby Brissett. Played at Florida, played at NC State, has been all around the NFL. Arguably the best backup quarterback in pro football. I think you can really make that particular claim. So that's what we're going to do tonight, among other things. Greg Huntington's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes, former Jaguar, the Mangler. We'll talk to him about the Jaguars. Also want to pick the brain of Greg Huntington about, Penn State. And James Franklin is out on his way now, obviously, to Virginia Tech. So some good things happening there as well. That'll be Greg Huntington, who will be joining us here in just a couple of minutes. All right, tonight's show brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Whether it's a want or a need, you need to make an appointment today. Get yourself the very latest as far as your eyes, right? I mean, my sink just broke. You don't wait to get your sink fixed, right? That's something you got to do immediately. If you bust a bone, you're going to go to the doctor. Why do people put off getting your eyes checked? Okay, they're so incredibly important. Just ask yourself right now, how much weaker are your eyes than they were when you got up this morning? You may be a candidate for laser eye surgery. You may be a candidate for 20/20 vision the rest of your life. It's one of the many things offered at Shmunez Vision. Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. You're talking about 37 years worth of experience when it comes to surgery. They'll do the examination. They'll sit and talk you through it, and they will also do the surgery. Check them out online. Also go to Instagram, Shmunez Vision, and get all of the testimonials there. We are jam-packed. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. A lot of great stuff happening. Let's begin it with some Jaguars talk. Former Jag Greg Huntington in the studio. He joins us on Into the Night next.
Fall football keeps college campuses buzzing.
I'm RJ Saunders, and I'll help you slide into a college football Saturday with pregame news and notes.
On the Bueller Air and Plumbing College Kickoff.
Served up by Sonny's Barbecue.
Friday night at 6 on 1010XL.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Hi, Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMasters vans, okay? Perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Uplifts, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, you need Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side.
Calling all poker players. The leaves are falling, but the poker is hot at Best Bet St. Augustine. Cash in on all the excitement with InstaPay every day, game day lucky seats, and daily tournaments and high hand promotions. Then don't miss out on the $400 no-limit hold'em, $40,000 guaranteed St. Augustine Championship, November 29th. Best Bet St. Augustine, off I-95, exit 311. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
It's about the hunt.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Lagerman. We take you from the water to the woods.
On the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
Let's go to the woods, y'all.
Saturday mornings from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, superiorfenceandrail.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I've been telling you how proud I am of my daughter Amber, who's lost so much weight on Awaken 180. But it's been a while now, so I wonder if it's something she can maintain. So I sort of asked her, how's it going?
So far, so good, Dad. But you're right, it has been a while. But that's the beauty of the Awaken 180 plan. There's so much variety in the food choices, you don't get bored.
You look great. Do you feel better?
I feel so much better. And I know it's because of the weight loss and how it's changed my lifestyle. So there's no chance I won't sustain it.
Well, what about over the holidays? Look, you grew up in our home, and you know we love the holidays.
Oh, I still plan on enjoying the holidays. I just plan on doing it by eating right. And I've already had the conversation with my coach. She understands the challenges of the holidays, and she's guided so many folks just like me through this. We've already made a plan.
So take my kid's word for it. Awaken 180 works. It's sustainable, even over the holidays. So change your life by calling 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tonight's show brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. For those of you who have been injured personally, Rick Alexander, he is your stop. We'll get there momentarily, but let's bring in the Mangler, such a versatile offensive lineman, a little bit of a Cole Van Lannon Could play guard, play tackle, play center. He is Greg Huntington, one of the 10 original Jacksonville Jaguars. We refer to him as the Mangler. You're looking good. What, did you give up food?
No, not necessarily, but I've just had a more dedicated routine to doing something every day, whether that's walking 1.5 miles at a good pace or doing a total body workout within 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, so no gimmicks here, no diets. You're just being active.
No Ozempic, no shots, no special diet. It's just, it's calories in, calories out, as well as just adding the exercise each day. If you do something every day and you kind of monitor what you eat, then you'll lose weight. It's just that simple.
If I didn't walk every day, my head would explode. I need it for my mental well-being.
True.
And, you know how I eat, man. I can eat like you offensive lineman. I'd weigh 250 pounds if I didn't. But anyway, I haven't seen you in a little bit. You look good.
Well, I appreciate that. And, it's always a pleasure for me to be on with the Truth Teller. And you're right. When you walk, you have conversations in your mind about what you're going to talk about.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
And you're always just so prepared for what you're going to talk about every night. And then maybe that's because you walk and you go through your head what you're going to talk about. As do I.
I need to try your plan, though, of the calories, putting less in as opposed to that does come out. All right. Let's talk about the Jaguars here. They have been, Greg, incredibly inconsistent so far this year, set aside what they did 2 days ago. 9 of their 10 games have been very inconsistent, yet they're 2 bad calls away from being 8-2. How do you explain that?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you. I mean, if I look at the Cincinnati game, a game that we had under control for most of that game and then found a way to let it go, as well as the Texans, I think those are the 2 games you would probably look at to say we should have won. If it woulda, coulda, shoulda. But, my focus has always been on the offensive line because for multiple years now, all I've heard is we got to put together a line to protect Trevor,
Right.
Trevor's not at fault because the offensive line has not been good. So we made some acquisitions during the offseason. Nobody with huge names, guys that maybe have started here and there. We added interior linemen, mainly guards and a center. But I purposed to watch the offensive line because that's really all I know. Starting in the preseason against the Steelers, and I go, wow, these guys are really providing protection and they're getting movement off the line of scrimmage, which I think line play kind of decreased over a period of time for whatever reason. Guys weren't getting movement on the down guy and getting to the next level, which is the linebackers. But what I saw, I was impressed by. And that kind of has been playing out throughout the season, that a lot of people have been giving accolades to the offensive line in terms of pass protection and run blocking. Now, you look at Seattle, I think we gave up 7 to 9 sacks. That's gonna happen. Unfortunately, it's gonna happen. But overall, I mean, I give the offensive line a B+, maybe an A-, which, most fans don't grasp what the offensive line does. And I've always made the argument on air. They make up nearly 50% of your offense. So it's pretty important that you invest in them. And now you got, Tony Baselli in there. I don't know whether he has any kind of decision-making in terms of what they do with the line, but they've improved the line. And some of the guys that were already there, be it Walker Little or Anton Harrison and, Ezra Cleveland, I mean, I think they've stepped up and done a good job. Could they be better? Sure. I mean, we all could be better. So to your point, I think we could be sitting at 8-2.
Yeah.
And so that gives us a lot of hope that we're still going to be involved in football in November and December.
There's no doubt. I mean, they've had trouble winning in Arizona, but that's a 3-7 team, followed up by a trip to Nashville against the 1-9 team. Former Jaguar Greg Huntington is our guest. He deserves a ton of credit, but I look at someone like Cole Van Lanen, who is involved in the jumbo package. He's a third tight end or a third tackle, depending on what you want to call it. Then 2 weeks ago, Ezra Cleveland can't play. He gets a start at left guard and plays well. This past, 2 days ago, Anton Harrison cannot play. He gets a start at right tackle. And when you just say that to a casual, most of our listeners are very passionate and they understand the game. But to a casual fan, they may be, offensive line, no big deal, guard, tackle, guard. He's played 3 different positions really well for the Jags. How hard is that?
That is extremely hard. And I appreciate you highlighting the fact that, again, most people don't fully understand line play. But even to go from right guard to left guard is a different scenario because of your stance.
Look at Walker Little. They tried forever to make him a right tackle, and he could not do it.
Yeah. And you led into the show concerning, my pedigree, if you will. But, yeah, I mean, at Penn State, I started at 3 different positions.
Right.
Started at guard, then they moved me to center, then they moved me to tackle my senior year. You just do whatever's put in front of you. But it's not easy to be able to play each one of those positions well. And so for Cole Van Landen to be able to do that, that's a good thing. I mean, to be able to have, your starting lineup, but then, typically teams will carry 2 or 3 backups, right?
Yeah.
And to have a guy that you can trust that's going to be able to come in if a starter goes down, it's a great insurance policy. And that's, kind of what I was most of my career, was that backup guy that could be versatile. Jack of all trades, master of none. But I could throw Huntington in there, even a tackle, and we'll survive.
If you look at this football team right now, tied for the leading touchdown receptions, Hunter Law, Patrick, and Parker Washington. Who would have guessed that as we get ready for Week 12? What I'm saying is that obviously Travis Hunter is out. Diami Brown, $9.5 million, hasn't worked out. Brian Thomas Jr. has had issues all year, including being injured the last 2 games. How are they? I mean, just to get kind of like Cole Van Landen, it's the same conversation right now with the wide receivers.
That's a great point. It's in that world, every team's going to go through a phase of injuries in certain position groups. And you know what we say? The statement is next man up. And you're playing at such a level that your backups, they're the best they can. They're the best out there, right? From the college ranks. And so it's refreshing when you have depth. And what that speaks to your GM, your head coach, saying these guys are going to be our backups, but if need be, they're going to step in, and there's not going to be much loss in them coming in there. And that's what we've seen, which is refreshing, that we know that we have good depth.
No doubt. That has been the point so far this year for the Jaguars. We talk about coaching all the time, good and bad, and, it's been awful around here for really a number of years. What do you make of the first year head coach Liam Cohen, how aggressive he is, whether taking the ball first, including in overtime, whether going for it on 4th down? And, you always hear the expression, can you get guys to run through a brick wall for you? That's so much more difficult nowadays because, let's face it, sports has become a me situation as opposed to an us situation.
That's a great point. I mean, let me start with the overarching statement. I don't relate necessarily to college football players today based on who I was as a college football player. And in a small sense, I could say the same about the NFL players in being able to relate to them in terms of the amount of money they make. When I was playing, it wasn't a democracy. It was a dictatorship. And Tom Coughlin made that very clear to us. And he would make that statement.
Coach Mazer?
This isn't a democracy.
Right.
This is a dictatorship. And it's my way or the highway. And
how about Coach Mazer?
Yeah, I mean, same way. It was, it was negative reinforcement. You were never told you did a good job because the expectation was you're being paid to do the good job. We're going to get on you when you do a bad job.
Sure.
Things have changed. Players are more individualistic, if that's even a word. And you have to have a head coach that knows how to navigate that. Now, my last stop in the NFL was with the Steelers, and Coach Cowher, I thought, did a masterful job of being a dictator when he needed to be, but also being a player's coach.
Wow.
Connecting with players on a personal level, get them to buy in. But I can tell you, if practice wasn't going the way in which he desired it to go, we would start from the very beginning. So he had a good balance of both ends. Now, whether that still works today, I'm not sure. But Liam Cohen, it seems like the youth movement works. All right. I mean, the head coach for the Miami Dolphins looks like he's a Beastie Boy to me. I'm sorry, but
he's in a boys'
and maybe they're
band.
not doing as great as they once started. But it's like I've met Liam Cohen at a couple events, and he's I don't know if he's turned. I think he maybe turned 40. I'm 55, so there's not a lot to relate to. But who am I? Things change. And it seems like he has the right methodology and mentality where the players buy in, right? But I still think at the same time he holds them accountable. There's accountability, but
no doubt.
But also, hey, you're doing a great job. We're going to celebrate your success, and this is great. So it's working. This season is going better than what I anticipated coming off of what we had the previous years. And I was a huge fan of the last coach. I mean,
at least early on, I think everyone was.
I really thought he was the man for the job. And
he checked out.
And then to see it fall apart the way it did was just disappointing.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I still think last year, Greg, that they win 3 or 4 more games if he's calling plays instead of Presto.
I know. That's
I really believe that.
That's a mystery.
Yeah.
It was the same way in Philadelphia.
Yep.
So.
He is Greg Huntington. He is the Mangler. All right, when we come back, more on the Jags. Also, Penn State, as we know, James Franklin out, now at Vatech. Let's talk about the Nittany Lions and what he thinks James Franklin will do in a very weak conference in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Okay, tonight's show is brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. I've known Rick Alexander for many years, and he's old school. He gets involved with every single one of his clients. He likes the planning, the strategy, the competition. If you have been hurt, particularly in a car accident, and you're home, your car may be totaled. You may have broken bones. You may not be able to afford to pay for any of it. These are the type of questions you ask the Alexander Law Practice. Here's what they're going to do. Immediately call you back, and then they're going to look at your case. And you'll never come out of pocket. You may need your car fixed. That's a question you ask. Pay for it for you. Medical bills, pay for it for you. Hey, that's why they put together this case. And then obviously at the end, it's going to be plentiful for everyone involved, especially you. So if you're alone, you don't think you have anywhere to go, you're wrong. Go to Alexander Law Practice. And again, their phone number, 400-6600, a free consultation. That's Alexander Law Practice, 400-6600.
This is your escape. This is your next adventure. This is Mazda, and this is Mazda at the Avenues. Lauren Brooks here. Right now, purchase any new Mazda model, and Mazda at the Avenues will match your down payment or your payments for 1 full year. Plus, every new Mazda comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles of maintenance at no additional charge to you. This is luxury, and this is the start of something new. This is Mazda at the Avenues. For complete details, call 904-430-8047.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage, too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Hicken here. I've been around the block or two, and Checkmate Coatings is who I'd call for my own place. They're my new MVP for stunning, long-lasting floors.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coatings. No massive overhead means top prices on top-quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios, too.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com today. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to American-Electrical.com and see how they can help you.
I know it's football season, but I know you love basketball too. And youth sports are always in season at the First Coast YMCA. Registration is now open for winter basketball at the Y. Today, more than ever, our kids need to experience the joy of being a kid while also learning the importance of teamwork, respect, and healthy living. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, fun environment with an exciting youth basketball league. Learn more at fcymca.org.
When plumbing problems strike, don't settle for just any plumber. Make the superior choice with Superior Plumbing and Pipeline.
We don't just fix leaks, we fix them right. With honesty, fair pricing, and innovative solutions that can save you thousands. From camera inspections of your pipes to trenchless pipelining that repairs cast iron pipes without tearing up your yard. We go way beyond the drip and clog at Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. No gimmicks, no upsells, just superior service every time. Make the superior choice. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
The holiday season is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club would be honored to host your company's holiday party in our warm, spacious clubhouse. Groups of all sizes are welcome. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to book your holiday party today.
Celebrating 30 years in Jack's Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is your go-to for cash on the spot. They buy gold. Huge sale on firearms all month. Save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday with no sales tax on firearms. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
With you tonight till 8, tomorrow night, Twin Peaks 6 to 8. My goodness, they have those ice cold 22-ounce drafts. I had quite a few of those in Houston a couple weeks ago. Probably won't drink any tomorrow night. As a matter of fact, I won't, considering I am driving. That's just the way that I roll. Greg Huntington is here, one of the 10 original Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Penn State fired James Franklin quite a while ago. I know you were never a big fan, even last year, making it, deep into the playoffs, but it's hard to avoid his top 10 record, his record against Ohio State, etc. They made the move, but it's been kind of null and void. What's going on right now at Penn State?
Well, if I may, let me start way back. I definitely want to say a few, because I played under Coach Paterno, and that was my dream, was to play under Coach Paterno. And as you know, Coach Paterno was very close with Bobby Bowden, and they both had the same kind of methodology when it came to players and coaching. Joe had three things that were important to him. First, you were going to be a good citizen in society. Then you were going to be a good student. And then you were going to be a good football player. And if you weren't doing 1 and 2, you weren't going to play. That's what I came out of, right? So Boy,
is that different from Lou Holtz and Under the Tarnished Dome and some books I've read, Barry Switzer. But anyway, continue on.
My point is, that's what I knew. So when obviously the whole thing with Joe Paterno being let go and fired, that's a whole conversation for another time. But I was happy with Bill O'Brien when he took over. I thought he was the right man for the job. And I was a little upset when he chose to leave Penn State to go into the NFL. But who am I? And so then James Franklin came on the scene. And wasn't a big fan initially, simply because of what I just said. I was under the old school methodology of Coach Paterno and what that looked like. And I'm like, this guy doesn't necessarily represent that. But to his credit, he kept some of the traditions in place, didn't change the uniforms, didn't necessarily put the names on the back of the jersey. I warmed up to James Franklin because, just like we talked about, even with the NFL players today, in the way in which the coach relates to the players, I thought James Franklin was doing a great job with that. And we beat Ohio State. We go to a Big Ten. We win the Big Ten. And we should have probably been in the playoffs that year. I forget exactly what year that was, but I'm like, things are looking up. I was sold on James Franklin. But then the years go by and you don't beat Michigan. You don't beat Ohio State consistently. And to your point, you don't beat ranked teams in the top 10. And you went to Penn State like you go to Florida State, Florida, Miami. You go there because you want to play for a title. And when you're not playing for a title, then you're like, we got to move on. So James Franklin was good for 9-3 and 10-2 every year, right? But for the Penn State fan base, that's not good enough.
Right.
And I went on, it was like a few years ago, and I said a statement I won't repeat on air about I'm moving on from James Franklin. Well, then they signed him to a 10-year extension, right? I'm okay, and I, not to kick a man, while he's down, and he's not down really, but he did take us far in the playoffs last year.
No doubt.
Right? But again, not winning the big game. So I think they probably should have kept him through the remainder of the year because his buyout is $56 million. I think they could have avoided $10 million less if they had kept him through.
I believe they have negotiated that down a little bit with him taking the job at Virginia Tech.
So there's a lot of good things to say about James Franklin. If you're looking for a coach that's going to make you 9-3 and 10-2 every year, that's great. I have a neighbor that lives on my street that went to Vatech. They're going to be happy with James Franklin because he'll probably have better results there than what they're used to. But as far as Penn State's concerned, we're looking to play for a title.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to look at athletic directors and say maybe there needs to be some level of accountability. Let's stop signing people to 10-year extensions and these crazy buyouts. Let's have some performance goals in there or some less than buyouts. I think Penn State has to rely on Adidas, who's taking over from Nike, who Paterno went with for all those years, potentially help with the buyout.
Yeah.
Their athletic department comes by every year asking me for money, right? And I'm like, well, how much does the football program make? Mm-hmm. They're like, we net $50 million every year. Now, I don't know if $50 million is a lot of money anymore in these days, but they said, but Greg, we're in the Big Ten, so we got to pay for all those other sports that the SEC doesn't. Well, his buyout's 54. Now, maybe they've negotiated it down, but we can't afford to buy out, right?
Yeah.
So
Penn State's got money, though. You guys been around for over 100 years.
Sure.
I mean, Florida State doesn't have the money you hear. And then, all of a sudden, what you said about these extensions, you're right. Jimmy Sexton is really ruined college football with this. You look at Florida, Auburn, LSU, UCLA, Florida State could open. There could be some other jobs that open. All of a sudden, the major question is Lane Kiffin, but who is everyone going to get? I mean, I thought Matt Rule, he re-upped at Nebraska.
Yeah.
I see Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Where's Penn State going for their next coach?
I mean, me just talking to you off air. I mean, I think everybody's wish list had Nick Saban at the top of the list. I figured, hey, it's Penn State. That would be perfect for Nick Saban, but I think he's openly suggested he's not going to do it. Terry Smith is the interim coach now. I played with Terry Smith. He was in the class ahead of me. In that same class was Al Golden, who's now, the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, was with the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, head coach at the University of Miami. I don't know. I mean, I don't have an opinion at this point on who I think can be the head coach because there's so many positions that are open. I mean, would Lane Kiffin even entertain Penn State? I don't know. I might.
It feels like Lane's going to stay south.
Yeah.
Whether it's Gainesville or Baton Rouge, and then the other side of it is you look at Ohio State and Michigan winning the last two national titles. That's what Penn State wants, and then they see the success of a program like Indiana. And what they've done the last 2 years. And you're like, if Indiana can do that, why can't Penn State? But only one team wins, and there's a lot of schools right now really frustrated with their athletic director, with their head coach's contract, which really does it. It handicaps a university, and, they have to respond to the boosters. They have to respond to their fans.
Yeah, going back to James Franklin, again, some of the silver lining with him, it was my understanding that most of the players that went to Penn State went there for 4 years, which means they weren't necessarily trying to build their team through the transfer portal,
right?
And that he had a connection with the players. So kudos to him on that. But, again, some of these deals that the athletic directors are making, it's a bridge too far. And it really puts programs by, not to mention the transfer portal. Again, I don't recognize college football. We weren't paid to play. We weren't, if you wanted to transfer, you had to get permission to leave and then sit out a year. I almost think the transfer portal is probably worse than NIL, to be honest with you.
I think I would agree with that. Yeah. They need more rules for the transfer portal. They need to govern that better.
I would agree. I don't know why they can't go back to the way it was. In terms of NIL, I think there's got to be some kind of structure. I mean, I wrote a paper my senior year about college athletes being paid. And my premise was everybody would be paid the same upon graduation, meaning you had to graduate. And going back to Paterno, Penn State had a 90% graduation rate as compared to the SEC, which was 24%. Now it's my understanding that their graduation rate is one of the lowest in the Big Ten.
Really? I wasn't aware of that. That's one thing. Admittedly, I don't spend a lot of time checking.
But who keeps stats on graduation rates when you transfer three different times?
Hey,
does it matter?
We're running out of time. Tell us what you're doing. What's going on in waste management?
Yeah, so, WM, largest sustainability company in North America, which is a good thing, right? We moved away from saying waste management because we don't want to be just known for moving around people's waste, because we do so much in the area of recycling, right? Which is important. And I consider ourselves to be the gold standard out there. So if you want somebody that's going to service your place of business in a timely, safe, eco-friendly manner, you need to go with WM. We're probably going to be cost more, but I always tell people you don't get what you don't pay for.
Right.
You get what you pay for with WM.
Outstanding. Greg Huntington, one of the 10 original Jacksonville Jaguars. He has called Jacksonville his home for a number of years. Always good to see you, Fun.
Yeah, likewise.
There he goes. Greg Huntington, we got much more to do with you tonight till 8.
Your play-by-play home of Bulls Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
After 8 straight wins, the Bulldogs State Championship chase continues. Friday at 7 against Florida State High School on 1010 AM.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here, and I recently celebrated a birthday with friends and family, and a lot of photos were taken. And you go on Facebook and you look, and you have those memories of years past on the same day. And I saw pictures of myself from 2 years ago. I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. That's back when I was over 300 pounds. I mean, I was in a bad spot in life with my weight. And now here we are, my birthday in 2025, down over 100 pounds, keeping the weight off. I look like a completely different human being. I can't tell you how many times I'm told that pretty much on a daily basis by people who haven't seen me in quite some time. Go to awaken180weightloss.com, awaken180weightloss.com. I'm living proof. If you want to drop the weight, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your answer. 844-346-1800.
Waiting around for Black Friday? At Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi, we've already dropped Black Friday prices. That's right, thousands of vehicles priced to move now. Get zero down, no payments for 90 days, plus peace of mind with a lifetime warranty. Don't wait for the crowds. Get your Black Friday deal today. Start saving early with Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi, where Black Friday starts right now. That'll wow you.
It's the Gator Podcast Channel with Frank Frangie and me, Dan Hicken, on all things Gators. Hacker and Denny Thompson have Gator Bites, and you can find them wherever you find podcasts or at 1010XL.com. Presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Coliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. I love Hello Smooth Med Spa, my go-to for skin health and beauty. Their biggest event of the year is November 19th, National Botox Day. Huge deals, local vendors, and it benefits Make-A-Wish. Don't miss it. Visit HelloSmooth.com for more details.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Don't ignore plumbing leaks. They can lead to mold and mildew or structural damage and drain your wallet. So when you have a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before the holidays and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. 18-month financing is available. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Originally a blues band, right? Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and the late John Bottom. What do you do, like 36 shots of vodka or something when he called it a career? And it's a shame. They just broke up. They said, we can't go on. And imagine what they would have put together. Led Zeppelin, if they stuck around for another 10, 15 years or so. The 0135 says, Ballou, finally someone that knows the offensive line is our biggest flaw. Yeah, Huntington and I have been talking about this forever. And it's just been incredibly inconsistent. First 3 games of the year, Jacksonville led the NFL in rushing yards. They led the NFL in average per carry. Then it went away. And even though Liam Cohen tried to stay true to the run and not abandon it, they just couldn't get the job done. And then you saw what they did last week, man. A season high, 47 rushing attempts for the Jaguars. That is the most of any team, and this is quite a sample size. We're talking about 11 weeks that have been played in the NFL. And again, last week they set the record for 16 rushing first downs. Did it again, and again, 47 rushing attempts. So I do wonder what's next. Where is this team? They've got to be riding such an incredible high. And again, this is what has always been, to me, fascinating, is fans and the media, they understand things such as Jacksonville hasn't won in the desert since 2005. How does that really apply to Liam Cohen? How does that really apply to this football team if you don't consistently go out there and play? I think it's something that is probably mentioned and is a footnote, but if you don't go out there regularly, I just don't see, why that is something that is important to them, right? It's important to you, and we do get that. Let's see, Walker Little. This is from the 0041. Walker Little has the skill to play. He doesn't seem to have the mentality to be ready to fight every week. He needs motivation, it seems. But this is the NFL. I just think we should move Anton to left tackle and let Walker be the backup swing tackle. Well, he's making a ton of money. And they've redone some contracts recently. So it's going to be very interesting to me to see how they continue to handle non-Gladstone players. Walker Little is a bulky guy. He was a bulky signing. I know there's big-time dead cap money to eat. This organization ate $40 million on 3 players: Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, Brandon Sheriff. Okay? That's funny money to you. It's funny money to me. It only applies against next year's salary cap. You'd hate to just give him away for nothing. Played well last week, but I still think he is absolutely under fire here. And, yeah, we've always wondered about the left tackle and Anton Harrison. Again, 22 of his 23 starts at Oklahoma, left tackle. Trent Baalke, smartest guy in the room. Make him a right tackle, right? Well, the Jaguars did that this year with some offensive linemen as well. It's just so hard. You heard Huntington talk on it. It is. I mean, it seems like it's not, but it is. To go from right guard to left tackle, to go from, like Ezra Cleveland did 2 weeks ago, left guard to right tackle, it's a lot harder than it does seem. And anyway, it's going to be very interesting to actually look at that. All right, let's continue with you next hour. 641-1010, all sorts of good stuff coming in. College football, certainly the Jaguars as well. That is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And let's welcome those in watching us on YouTube. That's always a treat. Just go to 1010XL, treat for me anyway, 1010XL into the night on YouTube.
He watches the coach's film to find the things you might have missed. Jeff Lockerman checks the tape for you. Tuesdays during football season on Jaguars Today. Inspected by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestaProsNEFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 18, 1979, Richard Petty became the first to win the NASCAR Series Cup 7 times.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Miami Hurricanes smashed NC State Wolfpack 41-7 on Saturday, racking up 581 total yards of offense and not letting the Wolfpack pass the 50-yard line until 5 minutes left in the game. Carson Beck had 3 touchdowns and Gerard Pringle had 116 on the ground. The Hurricane Report brought to you by Performance Painting.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
Cool air and clean air. Getting out from under that Florida sun and cooling off inside is where Florida Home AC shines. Think about it. You spend a lot of time indoors and air quality is crucial to your health and comfort. Pollutants like dust, pollen, germs, and allergens can build up, affecting your well-being. Florida Home is dedicated to enhancing your indoor experience with superior air quality solutions like whole home air purification systems. Find out by logging on to FloridaHomeAC.com or call 877-4300.
Hey, 1010XL fans, it's game time, but don't get sidelined from the fun. The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
Your home is your sanctuary, where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the only thing better than tonight will be tomorrow. And you know I am about looking ahead, but the importance of Wednesday is massive for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's about getting guys back. And yes, they've been able to win with everyone on their roster, but you have to believe, speaking of Penn State, Brenton Strange returns this weekend, okay? Absolutely believe that you'll see him come off the 21-day window. For starters, I think that is going to happen. When you get to Brian Thomas Jr., I really don't have a feel for it. I thought last week at this time he would play. I did not think Strange would, even though they brought him out of the, started his 21-day window. Don't know what to make out of Brian Thomas Jr. And it's interesting because you keep hearing now, well, you really don't need them. They're not playing Diami Brown. They don't have Travis Hunter. This team can win without Brian Thomas Jr. Let's pump the brakes here a little bit. Get him healthy. You still need him for these last 7 games, or it could be 6 games. And they've gotten great contributions from everyone, and that includes Austin Trammell and Tim Patrick. No doubt about it. Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington. But it would still be great to have Brian Thomas Jr. Back in there. Hunter Long, we'll have to see. Anton Harrison, we're going to have to see. Jordan Lewis on defense, that has been a big-time issue, right? What's going on there with him defensively? And, you look around, they made the move yesterday to bring in another safety. To me, that spoke volumes of where this football team is health-wise with Eric Murray and his neck injury. They signed Juan Thornhill. He's a veteran who's been around the leagues, played a ton of games. This becomes basically a patchwork type of situation. Can you get him for a couple of weeks? Can you get him, for whatever it may be? Who knows? Maybe it is 7 weeks. Including hopefully the playoffs. But some really interesting stuff there. Yeah, Diami Brown, only 19 snaps. Man, you're paying him $9.5 million. And, it's on him. $9.5 million. You give me $9.5 million, tax the hell out of it, I'll live the rest of my life because I know how to deal with things in my means. But for him, he's playing for his future. He's playing for a brand new contract, and he just hasn't lived up to it. For my understanding is that everything about him is good. I've interviewed him several times. I just don't know if he's the guy. He had that big time drop in Cincinnati, right? And then on top of that, just hadn't been able to get healthy as of late. 2875, was that Led Zeppelin song you just played. That was the Traveling Riverside Blues. Again, Led Zeppelin, a lot of blues in their history. 1681, Joe Pa won 2 championships in 46 years. He did, but he also had 3 other undefeated seasons and did not have an opportunity to play for a national championship. College football has always been corrupt. College football has always been somewhat underground. The only difference now is that for the most part, we can see it. Not totally, but for the most part, right there ahead of us. With college football, you see they announced the Florida State time. It's either going to be 3:30 or 4:30 on ESPN2 coming up 1 week from Saturday. So I saw that a little bit earlier yesterday.
Yeah, as crazy as it is, this Saturday, Florida-Tennessee is the primetime game on ABC, and it was just announced about an hour ago it's a sellout crowd again.
Mm-hmm.
I think 17 straight, for Gator home games.
It's impressive. It really is. I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how well Florida State has done fan-wise. And, you go back and forth. No one has any idea what's going on right now at Florida State. You got people talking out of both sides of their mouth. You got those who are convinced that he's gone. You got those that are convinced he's got to win one of the next two in order to get to a bowl game. And you have those who believe if he loses both, he's gone. I just don't know what to make of it. But what I will tell you is that this game right now is going to have a 5-5 Florida State team against a 3-7 Gator team. Can the Gators beat Tennessee? Tennessee's a much better team. Florida seems to play to their level of competition outside of that Kentucky game. They really do for the most part. Florida State 5, so they're going to be 4-7, or they're going to be 3-8. Florida State's 5-5. Florida State hasn't won a road game since Joe Paterno won a national title. Okay, that's what Mike Norvell is staring at, and this is one of those Friday night games, national television. Get ready, make your excuses, and it's fair, right? Why does Florida State get 2 Friday night road games? I'll tell you why. The ACC hates them. The ACC hates Florida State. They hate their administration. They hate the fact that they are so dumbfounded to make the demands that they have, yet they can't even win a football game in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So you're going to get that. Whether it's from the president, the athletic director, whether it's from the board of trustees, whether it's from their lawyers, you get no support from Commissioner Jim Phillips, and you get no support from the ACC. Don't kid yourself. Everyone wants to beat Florida State. So you can make those excuses. 10:30 night games at Stanford, home games at noon. You don't even allow the locals, the Seminole fan base to get liquored up. That's what you're dealing with. I will never bite the hand that feeds me. But this weekend, man, come on. At noon, I will watch Miami against Virginia Tech, but we're talking about Miami being a 17.5-point favorite, and this is a cold weather game for the Canes, as well as next week when they have Pittsburgh. That's a noon game, but what else is really appealing this week? Well, it's USC and Oregon, right? 2 classic Pac-12 teams now in the Big Ten, but it's still at Outson Stadium. I mean, anything outside of an Oregon victory, I think, will be, a tremendous surprise. Around here, Kentucky at Vanderbilt, really?
Pass.
Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. I love watching Haynes King play. And this young freshman at Pittsburgh, he really got mauled last week against Notre Dame. But still, we're talking about Pitt, Georgia Tech here, right? I mean, you don't cancel plans for Pitt, Georgia Tech. Tennessee, Florida is going to be electrifying. Tennessee only favored by 3.5 total, 47.5. There you have it. It's just not the greatest weekend in college football. And I very rarely ever say anything like that because I'm big on always promoting things. In the SEC as well, Missouri at Oklahoma, Charlotte at Georgia, Eastern Illinois at Bama, all these cupcakes before the big rivalry game. Mercer at Auburn, Arkansas at Texas. I mean, Texas is laid down this year. Arkansas at 2-8. That doesn't really do anything. for anyone out there. So that is what is coming up in college football. And, boy, where's the season gone? It's unbelievable. I mean, this is week 12. Absolutely out of this world. 40-42. Rick, you just can't say that. You can't say that, Rick, because Trevor is a bulky guy. Jags need to restructure Trevor's contract to make it easier to get rid of him if he need be. I'm a Trevor hater, and I can honestly say that the eyes tell me he's having his best year or not, the numbers-wise, but he just lacks the deep ball and the accuracy to be a franchise quarterback. He can't read defenses. Even in his down year last season, Trevor's been one of the better deep ball passers in pro football. Not this year. That has gone away. Now, again, his deep ball targets have gone away, right? They're not there. Wasn't really a part of Travis Hunter's route tree during his 7 games. Brian Thomas Jr., it just hasn't worked out, right? Outside of maybe the Houston game. We haven't seen it. Diami Brown, we expected it. We haven't seen it. They've attempted a few. It's just not working. I don't know how you can restructure this contract when you have the guaranteed money that he has. I was looking for it earlier. I guess I got sidetracked on it, but they recently did Walker Little's deal. Let me see this for you real quick before we head to our next break. The Jaguars, where did I get this? The Jaguars converted $5.3 million of Walker Little's base salary into a signing bonus, adding 2 void years and creating a $4.2 million cap space figure for 2025, which, if they're not adding players, and again, I don't know why I don't have the source of this. That's bad on my behalf. I do apologize. Travis Holmes, who covers the team for Big Cat Country, last week also said the Jaguars restructured Foye Oluwakon's deal and Devon Hamilton's deal, combined creating about $3.1 million towards this year's salary cap. So once you get deep into the cap and how you can move money around, it really honestly does lose me to some extent. I can stick with what the salary cap is, what the salary cap number figure is, what the dead cap money is, what the injured reserve money is, what the practice squad money is, and does it all add up? But when you start taking contracts and voiding years or adding voided years and then take the salary and give it all to him now to free up some cash, it does. It becomes a little bit confusing. But Walshy's still around. He does an unbelievable job. Notre Dame grad, really good guy. And I know that with all the changes that this organization has had, I'm glad that he is still a part of that front office and is able to work with James Gladstone and company. All right, we got much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock. He is Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou.
It's not superstition. It's preparation.
Exactly.
It's your first game day pregame show. It's the Terminix Kickoff Show. 5 hours before kickoff. Connected by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
There's a lot of reasons to use Kuhn flowers when you need to send a floral arrangement. This is ET with 1010XL, and no matter what reason or the occasion, Kuhn Flowers delivers only the best. Log on to KuhnFlowers.com and make somebody's day.
Hop in, I'm driving. I'm Lauren Brooks, and I'm behind the wheel as we cruise down Lauren's Lane in search of the day's most talked about sports stories. Driven by Mazda at the Avenues, 2 to 4 weekdays on 1010XL.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Jeff Lageman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaautocare.group.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Gated communities, homeowners association, secure corporate centers. When you need a full-line fence company capable of any size job, you need to think about Duval Fence. They've got the latest and greatest in gate operators and access control systems. Security is huge these days, and you want a gate that operates smoothly, around the clock, every time you hit the button. Count on a company that's been serving Duval and the First Coast for decades. That's Duval Fence. For the latest in gate operators, commercial or residential, check out Duval Fence.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, you know what's right around the corner? The J-Fun Radiothon. Yeah, it'll be Wednesday night, December 3rd. Our 18th annual gets bigger and better every year, and that especially applies to you Into the Night listeners. This is an ego deal. We want to get as many donations as we possibly can, and I got two special guests joining us here tonight, Lindsay and Josh. Josh is 10 years of age, Lindsay as well. How are you folks doing?
We're good.
Yeah?
Good. Yes.
Josh, first off, are you a football fan? Are you a Jaguars fan?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you get to go to any games?
Yeah, I went to one.
Which one?
I went to multiple, actually. I went to the, just last one, and they cooked the other team.
They did. They dominated them. So what was your favorite part? Who's your favorite player on the team?
I don't have one.
Okay. Very, 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 very good. Very good. Mom, how about you?
Oh, my favorite player? It would be Lawrence.
There you go. Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback. Okay. You got a real interesting young man here. Plenty of adrenaline, plenty of spirit. I love to see it. Tell us what is going on with Parker and take us through everything that has happened.
Okay, so when Parker was 18 months old, he's now 10, he had a brain bleed. We didn't know that he had a tumor. He was rushed to the emergency room. They did an MRI. They told us, that he has a growth in his brain. We weren't sure. We had no idea. So they took him back. They did surgery immediately. They tested the tumor. It's called a pilocytic astrocytoma. So he's had it since he was 18 months old. They've never done surgery to resect it just because of the location. It's too dangerous. So since he's been 18 months old, he's been on and off of chemotherapy treatment. Actually, more on chemotherapy treatment than off throughout his life since then. So right now he takes an oral chemotherapy every single day. He was on an intravenous chemo, which is where they inject it, and we have to go to the hospital, and it takes several hours. So we feel pretty lucky that he's on this one, that it's oral. He can take it at home. He was on it for about 2 years. We had some side effects. He got off of it, and then a few months later he relapsed. So then he had to get on the same exact medication again. So that's kind of where we are now. He actually had an MRI. It was supposed to be tonight at this time, but insurance things happened and it got canceled, so it got moved. So he got to be with us tonight.
Sorry about that. Another reason why the J Fund is so incredibly important. So an MRI coming. What is the latest right now with Parker?
So he hasn't had an MRI in 4 months. He gets them actually every 4 months. So last one, it was stable since he started this medicine again. So it grew over the summer, which is why we started the chemotherapy again. And then we had an MRI about 6 weeks later, and it was stable. So that's what we pray for every single time he has an MRI, is stability.
Parker, what grade are you in?
5th.
Yeah. What do you like to do in school? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. Okay. Very, very good. Now, what do you do? Do you like to play sports or video games? What's your favorite thing?
Sports.
Yeah, there you go. Parker's 10, just got to a Jaguars game here the other day. He said they cooked the Los Angeles Chargers. Tell us about the J Fund. When did you first discover them?
So we first discovered the J Fund when we were in the hospital. I think the social worker at Wolfson's shared it with us. And she told us, all these great things that the J Fund provided for families, help with bills and things like that. It's been a tremendous help for our family. We've had so many hospital bills. We had good insurance, so our insurance premiums are crazy. We were in the hospital for 30 days when this first happened, and we've been on and off chemo for 9 years now. So it's been, the bills are just astronomical. So the J Fund has helped us with bills. They've paid our mortgage. They've paid our car payment. They've given us gift cards for groceries. They've provided so many things that helped alleviate some of the stress and kind of helped us stay afloat during this time that we've had, that we can focus on Parker and our family and not focus on the hospital bills and other things like that aren't as important.
What a moving story. We're here with both Josh, who's 10, and Lindsay, and the J Fund Radiothon will be on Wednesday, December 3rd. If you want to give during that, it'll be tcjfund.org. The Radiothon, again, it's one of our biggest nights of the year, and not every story ends up being heartwarming. Tell us about the auto maintenance program. I know that was something that helped you out a great deal as well.
Yeah. So the program, we've done it. I think this is our second year that they've provided this fund. To get to the doctor's appointments, to get to all these little events that we have to do for Parker, we live a little bit further away. So they provided some additional funding for anything we needed repairs on our car, oil changes, new tires. We definitely used that amount this year. That was allotted to us, and that helped us tremendously in all areas of our life. There's so many bills that we have to pay, so it kind of helps us just, alleviate some of that, the issues that come with everything that we have through his medical journey.
Parker, what are you going to do when you grow up, buddy?
I'm leaning towards multiple jobs, but...
Okay, good.
Yeah, I kind of want to be like a baseball player.
Okay.
A basketball player and all that, yeah.
A baseball player and a basketball player.
Yep.
Now, what's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
All right. I like to hear that. Yeah, the old American pastime. Not as many young kids love it. He seems like he's just spectacular.
Yes, he is.
What's it so hard on the family? What's it been like to witness the way that he's handled it.
He's handled it great. I would say the hardest part of this was when he did stop taking his medication after taking it for 2 years. It was every day. He had some side effects, some of them being like weight gain, which really, really hurt him. So when I had to tell him that he had to get back on the medicine, he was devastated. So that was one of the hardest parts. Recently, as he's getting older, he's starting to understand more.
He looks really good now.
Yes, he's doing amazing. He's actually on a special keto diet, so we've been able to maintain. But just how he's so aware now of everything that's going on. So that's probably been the most difficult part.
I want to speak for our listeners. We all wish Parker the ultimate here, the very best. Such a great young attitude. With a young man like he is. Tell our listeners, again, the big event is coming up on Wednesday, December 3rd, but let them know why it's so important for our listeners to be there for the J Fund Radiothon.
So I would say families dealing with something as horrible as childhood cancer, something that no child or family should ever have to go through. They help alleviate some of the pressure. They have such a strong community and foundation. They help you connect with other families. They help you with all these events that they throw, parties or Christmas parties for all these kids, sibling events that helps you focus on your family and kind of helps you forget about some of the stress that you might have from your illness and having to deal with chemotherapy and just being afraid of being sick and all of that. It kind of helps you just have a little fun and take the pressure off.
18 years we've done it here at the radio station. It's just unbelievable. We get bigger and better every year. Such a pleasure to be just a small part of the J Fund. All right, Parker, have you been a good kid this year? You gonna get a bunch of presents coming up here over the holidays?
Yes.
Yeah?
I helped with my baby brother a lot.
Wow. Okay. How old's your baby brother?
He's over a year.
Ooh. Okay. So that must be a lot of fun being the big brother and all.
He's crazy.
All right, Parker. Hey, man, we're wishing you the best. Thanks for coming in here to the radio station. This has been neat.
Thank you.
And Mom as well, Lindsay, along with Josh. God bless you both. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
You.
There you have it. The J Fund Radiothon will be on Wednesday, December 3rd, all morning, all afternoon, and into the night. We'll constantly keep you updated. And before you know it, that'll be here.
It's a great get-together after the game. Hacker Leon and Coach Gerald Ingram bring you the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. Live from Hurricane Grill and Wings, Chillington Creek, nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I've been telling you how proud I am of my daughter Amber, who's lost so much weight on Awaken 180. But it's been a while now, so I wonder if it's something she can maintain. So I sort of asked her, how's it going?
So far, so good, Dad. But you're right, it has been a while. But that's the beauty of the Awaken 180 plan. There's so much variety in the food choices, you don't get bored.
You look great. Do you feel better?
I feel so much better. And I know it's because of the weight loss and how it's changed my lifestyle. So there's no chance I won't sustain it.
Well, what about over the holidays? Look, you grew up in our home, and you know we love the holidays.
Oh, I still plan on enjoying the holidays. I just plan on doing it by eating right. And I've already had the conversation with my coach. She understands the challenges of the holidays, and she's guided so many folks just like me through this. We've already made a plan.
So take my kid's word for it. Awaken 180 works. It's sustainable, even over the holidays. So change your life by calling 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
The young guns styled and profiled all over their opponents and put together a drive that displayed their dominance. Trevor Lawrence led the group on a 16-play, 76-yard drive, capped off by a Tim Patrick touchdown, making the score 28-6 with 11:38 left in regulation. The 9-minute drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Attention small business owners. Did you know you can get 100% tax deduction on a brand new Cadillac?
That's right. Choose your new Cadillac and qualify for a 2025 tax deduction of up to 100% of the purchase price.
There's never been a better time to own a Cadillac and drive your business forward in style.
Visit Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville today for incredible deals and expert advice.
Don't miss your chance. Experience the luxury you deserve and the savings you need.
Plus tax tag title, $9.99 admin fee, and resistol on approved credit.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jax. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjax.com.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at superiorplumbingjax.com.
Pickett here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, premier story of the day. Lane Kiffin coming out and saying it is absolutely not true that a deadline has been set by the higher-ups at Mississippi. He said that earlier today on ESPN. He's gone on to say he loves it here. Noticeably absent, however, is him coming out saying, I'm staying. So whether he's doing this to create some more cash, which absolutely could happen, and I think Mississippi, no matter what he wants, they're going to pony up. If he wants to be the highest paid coach right now in college football, even though Kirby Smart is there, it's going to be pretty tough to argue with that, with the demand that is in fact coming in. For me, it's pretty simple. Lane Kiffin, you're never going to win a national title at Mississippi. I said it a year ago. I got in a lot of hot water for it. May have added another comment in or two. But it's not going to happen. He has a chance to win a national title at Florida. He has a chance to win a national title at LSU. What's most important for Lane Kiffin? He's got all the money in the world, and he's going to make even more. Is it the comfort of the Grove, where he is totally overachieved? Or is it going straight into really an inferno? The moment he arrives on campus in Gainesville and in Baton Rouge, national championship expectations are going to be there. You know, if I was Lane Kiffin, I'd be like, why not? Why not go for it? Go for a ring. Take me under fire. Because you know, if he doesn't work and he gets fired, just think of the amount of money that guy's going to make as a broadcaster, and he could have such a great life as a broadcaster. Now, he's still a young guy. I'm sure he hasn't given that thought. But can you think of anyone right now in the college game that has a personality like Lane Kiffin? He is an automatic once his coaching days are done.
Yeah, there's no one close. I kind of figured that Nick Saban would be good on TV. A lot of people didn't think he would, and I think he's done pretty good on TV with Game Day and a couple of his ESPN hits that he does with McAfee on Fridays.
Yeah.
Now that he's not in the game, it's Lane. Other than him, I mean, it's like Kirby Smart's not a TV guy. No. Lincoln Riley, Sark. None of those guys are TV. Cristobal. None of those guys are TV guys. At least they don't look like it.
I was watching Dave Clawson on the ACC network. You know, the ACC network is so bad they can't even get any advertisers. All they do is run promos. And during the Florida State Virginia Tech game, every single start and stop, every single stop set, okay, that's in the biz, they kept playing that old school song, It's Basketball, and they were promoting Atlantic Coast Conference women's basketball, which is cool. But I heard that song, and anyone who watched the game heard that song, no shortage of 40 times on Saturday.
Well, it's probably because they didn't make a deal with YouTube TV. They're losing money.
Well, actually, I think the deal did come in.
Yeah, they did. They got the deal done like late Friday night.
But how could they not include advertisers? I mean, all they're doing, there's got to be some audience, right? I mean, it makes no sense to me. I have no idea how television, national television sales goes. I have a pretty good idea how it works radio-wise, but not in college. 40-42, Ballou, Coach Lane about to get a $200 million deal. Yeah, our conversations earlier with Lane, with Greg Huntington, this is only going to get worse. Look at Nebraska. They lost 6 straight to Minnesota, and they gave Matt Rule that amount of money as a contract extension. You got Kenny Dillingham saying the same thing out of Arizona. So you got all these coaches just saying, you know what? I'm just going to stay where I'm at and get paid. There's going to be one major move, right? Someone's going to surprise us. I mean, when Brian Kelly left Notre Dame for LSU, that was a surprise. Where's the surprise coming from? With all of these jobs, who's kind of, I don't want to say worn out his welcome, but maybe feels he's done all he can do at this university and a change makes total sense. Can you think of any coach right now that comes off?
Did you see what Desmond Howard was talking about yesterday, saying don't be surprised if Sark leaves Texas? I don't see how that's going to happen unless Sark goes to the NFL, but he floated that out there, and I haven't seen that been talked about by anybody else.
Boy, man, I'll tell you something. Sark, tell you how far I go back with Sark was when we were the home of USC when I was working out of Chicago, and we, owned 4 radio stations, 5 actually, Miami, New York, Chicago, Boston, and LA. We were the home of the Trojans. That Pete Carroll staff, you had Norm Chow as your offensive coordinator. And you had Steve Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin, okay? Their offensive brain trust. And then Norm Chow, moved on. I'm trying to think what happened. Or Pete Carroll moved on, ended up going to the NFL. But, Sark's a guy that has hit rock bottom and then has come back up. I'm not a big fan of Steve Sarkisian. I like Lane Kiffin a whole heck of a lot more. And he's controversial. Just seems to me like Sark is so much hype, but never really delivers. And that was really an awful effort by them. I mean, Georgia just pounded them. Gunnar Stockton had 5 touchdowns in that game, and Arch Manning did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and the fourth quarter, it started close to start the fourth quarter, and then a touchdown, then an onside kick, and that game got out of hand pretty fast.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But we'll see. I'm trying to think who else could possibly just pack up and leave. I look at a guy like Pat Narduzzi. But hell, he was on the hot seat like a year ago. You hear Dan Lanning all the time. If I'm Dan Lanning, why would you leave Oregon? I mean, seriously, why would you leave with all the money that's there, with Phil Knight being there, being the beast out in that part of the country? You know Lincoln Riley's going to leave at some point. He may leave this year. He may leave in a year.
What about Dabo? Is that a name? I mean, that wouldn't be shocking, though.
I would still be very surprised. I have always been under the impression that if Dabo Swinney ever left Clemson, the only job he would take is Alabama. I mean, will LSU go after him? Will Florida go after him? You look at some of these names that are being mentioned right now. Again, it's scary. We just don't know. And that's where we are when it comes down to this. I mean, you're talking about a lot of coaches. It didn't work getting away from the Power Four for Florida with Billy Napier. It didn't work with McElvain. It didn't work for Florida State going to Memphis in getting Taggart. And by the way, those Oregon coaches that have moved on, it didn't work for Taggart. I guess it is working right now for Cristobal, but he's had his moments where he's been up against it. Auburn right now, the leading candidate is Joe Summerall. Florida right now, outside of Lane Kiffin, the leading candidate was James Franklin, who signed yesterday with Va Tech. It's now Alex Golish. LSU, Kenny Dillingham is a new favorite, slightly over Nick Saban. Is Saban really going to come out? Dillingham's gone 20-1 to 3-1. Is Saban really going to return? The Marcus Freeman one, 28-1 to 10-1. Why would Marcus Freeman leave Notre Dame? I just don't. I don't see it. Penn State, Brian Hartline. There's a real opportunity there. Former quarterback, offensive coordinator to get it. But they mentioned Brian Kelly, Dabo Swinney, Dan Mullen, John Gruden. The John Gruden one is interesting. I think he would be fantastic in college football now that you can pay players. I also think that sooner or later the NFL could come calling once again. I just wonder if he can get over the saga with the emails and, the perception is so bad. I don't know if he'll ever be able to fully recover from that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen anytime soon, I don't think. I think he's going to go to a college job, probably maybe an SEC school, maybe in Arkansas. I think he's taking the routes of what Deion Sanders did. Deion went to Barstool for a little bit. His brand got very, very big, as if it wasn't already. Then got into coaching. Gruden's kind of doing the same thing. And like a lot of kids love him. A lot of the teenagers that are on, Instagram and YouTube and all that. That's where all of his content is. And I think Gruden's going to follow that path. And I think eventually, I wonder if Roger Goodell ever steps away from being a commissioner and they get a new commissioner, if he eventually segues back to the NFL.
Yeah. But, in the court of public opinion, that's never going to be something that is going to be accepted by so many people out there. And I get it. I mean, it shouldn't be a part of your vocabulary, whether you're saying it or writing it. So it is cost him, no doubt. I mean, he's making tons of money, doing whatever he wants, Barstool, whatever, but he's not a coach like he once was. 54-96, Archman in the Florida. Coach follows. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Lane Kiffin going to Florida and Arch Manning coming with him? Have you given up? Have you given up on your quarterback?
I haven't, but a lot of fans have. A lot of fans are over DJ Lagway. They think he's a bad quarterback and he doesn't make good decisions, and they're ready to move on and get somebody else, which, understandable, he hasn't played well.
Right. And Tremble Jones, we got right here out of Mandarin, is next up. I mean, do you sacrifice his growth and everything by, renting Arch Manning for 1 year? Well, if you think that he can win a national title for you, you do. But Arch Manning has been, a C at best? He's been very suspect this year.
Yeah, nobody could have lived up to his expectations this year. And
way too much hype.
Way too much hype, and he has not played well for most of this season.
Mm-hmm. This guy wrote very, very lengthy. Anyway. Hello, it's funny, buddy. We're right here, basically in Georgia. Georgia's playing the best football bomb on there, doing these things the past 5 years. Gunnar Stockton should be talked about over and over. He's your kind of player. But the bottom line is this bunny, every single one of the sports talk show hosts in our city, including Denmark, are so freaking jealous of Georgia. And you know what? I understand it. You're the king right now. If I had to pick a national championship winner, I would probably pick Georgia. I may go to Ohio State. Okay, I'm not exactly on the limb, but stop acting like you invented football, okay? It's been a phenomenal run, you guys were also invisible for 40 years. I mean, 40 years. You guys did nothing since Buck Ballou and Herschel Walker. And you had some nice years. Mark Richt had some nice years, yada, yada, yada. But everyone around you won. Georgia Tech won a title. Clemson won a title. LSU won titles. Auburn won titles. Alabama won titles. Tennessee won titles. Florida State won titles. Florida won titles. Miami won titles. They all won. And Georgia was just kind of, so brag all you want, and that's fine, but careful, all right? These things flip all the time. Staying power is so difficult. I was just talking about USC. They were virtually unbeatable the years that I was in Chicago. Okay, you notice the trend. You get hot and then you fall, right? We thought that was going to happen with Bama. They stuck around. Look at Auburn, LSU, Florida State, Florida right now. Look at Penn State right now. I mean, it goes on and on and on. The ability to maintain is absolutely impossible in this sport. And, you know, as we headed this break, Ohio State won. Okay. Indiana, too. If you a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 10 years ago or 25 years ago told me that Indiana would be ranked number 2 in America in college football, you're a freaking liar. Okay? Texas A&M, only a matter of time till they won. One of 3 undefeated teams left. They nearly did a week ago. We all saw what happened. Georgia, they are hunting. Again, I think they're arguably the best team in America. Mississippi at 5. You ain't winning a national title at Mississippi. Oregon at 6. You're not winning a national title at Oregon. Texas Tech at 7. You're not winning a national title there. You know who out of the teams in the top 25 realistically can win a national title this year or in the next 5 years? I'll give them to you. Ohio State at 1. Georgia at 4. Oklahoma at 8. Notre Dame at 9. Alabama at 10. I don't even think I can put Miami in there at 14. USC at 16. Texas at 17. Michigan at 18. And that's it. I'm leaving out Indiana, Texas A&M, Mississippi, Oregon, Texas Tech, BYU, Vanderbilt, Utah, Miami, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Tennessee, James Madison, North Texas, Missouri, Tulane, and Houston. Those schools aren't winning a national title. Not in your lifetime, not in my lifetime.
Is your home ready for the holidays? Beat the holiday rush and call Zero Res. 3 rooms to carpet clean starting at just $149 and a 4th room free with a canned food donation. Plus $75 off air ducts as well. Book online anytime at ZeroResJacksonville.com.
Waiting around for Black Friday? At Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi, we've already dropped Black Friday prices. That's right, thousands of vehicles priced to move now. Get 0 down, no payments for 90 days, plus peace of mind with a lifetime warranty. Don't wait for the crowds. Get your Black Friday deal today. Start saving early with Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi, where Black Friday starts right now. That'll wow ya.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
Pork, chicken, brisket. Sometimes the best choice is not having to make one. That's why we're bringing back originals like our Sunny Sampler and Pork 3 Ways. Get your favorite proteins, 2 sides, and bread, starting at just $16.99. A little bit of everything, a whole lot of value. That's why it's always Sunny's here. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pest Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Football season is all about the big moments. How about some killer wings and cold ones to go along with it? Check out Hurricane Grill and Wings on St. Augustine Beach. Tons of TVs so you don't miss any of the action, but still that open-air atmosphere you crave. Hurricane Grill and Wings on A1A in St. Augustine.
The wait is over. Sunday, December 7th, your Jacksonville Jaguars return to Everbank Stadium for a massive division showdown against the Indianapolis Colts. This is more than just a game. It's a statement. Touchdown, Jacksonville! The Jags are back home and ready to turn up the heat in their iconic Prowler throwbacks. Kickoff is 1 p.m., so pack the bank and make it loud. Secure your seats now at Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, 24 hours have passed. Everything different now in the world of Lane Kiffin, saying that he has not been told that there is a deadline as we bring in Hacker Nation, but he also did not say, hey, I'm staying at Mississippi.
I commend Pat McAfee and that show for getting him on, but outside of the no ultimatum, which is obviously what Kiffin and Jimmy Sexton wanted to get out there, boy, that interview was a nothing burger.
I know.
How do you not bring up Florida and LSU? I'll tell you how you don't bring up Florida and LSU. Before the interview, they told McAfee and his guys, don't bring up Florida and LSU. That's the only logical explanation as to why you were not asked about Florida or LSU.
Started the show 2 hours ago with almost an identical comment. I mean, you can be an interviewer 101. It can be your first ever assignment. And obviously, Pat McAfee is very good at what he does. He gets paid a ton of money and is very successful. He was obviously told, don't ask.
Yeah, and which happens. I mean, look, it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. You know, we get told from time to time, hey, don't bring up certain topics, and you either continue to do the interview or you choose not to do the interview.
It happened once with me. The only time it's happened was when Alvin Brown was the mayor. You remember Alvin Brown?
I do.
Okay, we were doing a show, McManus and I, downtown at a park.
I remember this show, yes. I think I was producing that day, as a matter of fact.
And their handler is like, you can't ask Alvin Brown about the Jaguars. And this was during a time of incredible uncertainty.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why the hell are we having him on the show if I can't ask him about the Jaguars? Can't do it. So I slammed my headset down and let McManus do the interview.
Which is why I remember that show. As a matter of fact, that is exactly the way I remember it as well.
I think I was bothered. I think I was going through a divorce or something like that. And I was like, screw this. I mean, you can't. But it puts you in an incredibly uncomfortable situation because everyone's driving around saying, ask about the Jaguars, ask about the Jaguars, yet you're told you can't ask about them.
Yeah, I mean, it was fluff. It's what it was. Now, if I'm McAfee, I do the interview because he got the tweet out that he had Lane Kiffin coming on, and it got me to watch, for 15 minutes, just like I'm sure it got a lot of people to watch. So we're going to talk a lot about that. In fact, we're going to go to Oxford, Mississippi coming up here in less than 20 minutes. My guy out in Oxford is Brad Logan. He's the host of the Believe in Ole Miss podcast. He's also a contributor to the On3 website that covers the Ole Miss Rebels. What are they hearing boots on the ground in Oxford? I think it depends who you talk to. You talk to people in Oxford, you get one story. You talk to people in Baton Rouge, you get another. And, of course, here, at the end of the day, in your opinion, where do you, Rick Ballou, think Lane Kiffin is coaching next year?
Mississippi.
I'm starting to think that, too. I think that he wants to feel wanted. I think his name is in the spotlight. And I think he's going to use this to say, you know what? I could have gone to Florida. I could have gone to LSU, but I'm choosing to come to Ole Miss, and all the recruits, you need to see what's going on here.
Now, I don't feel comfortable about that answer, but that is where I'm at this particular point. All right, so you head out there. Where else tonight?
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of former coaches, a lot of coaching experience tonight. Mark Duffner and Gerald Ingram will join me. Like I said, we're going to go out to Oxford. Brad Logan of the Believe in Ole Miss podcast. Mike Huguenin as well, the College Football Encyclopedia. So we're absolutely loaded up until 10 o'clock tonight.
All right. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's coming up right now. Hey, tomorrow night we're at Twin Peaks. Come on out and say hello. We'll have some good stuff out there, 6 to 8 on Wednesday night at Twin Peaks. We'll be back in studio 6 to 8 on Thursday night. Then, of course, on Friday with high school football playoffs going on, I will go to the AM only. That'll be 10:10 on the AM, and that'll be from 4 until 6. Okay, thank you to Greg Huntington. Thank you to the J Fund. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. Folks, have a great night. I will talk with you tomorrow night live from Twin Peaks on 92.5 FM, and as always, 92.5 FM, the app.
The Jaguars prowl in the Valley of the